Okay, hi everybody. Retro Megan again, and actually we're gonna run Super R-Type. Okay, so this is gonna be on Novice difficulty. I'm gonna start. Time's gonna start right now. Okay, so this is one of the first shmups I've run. Technically, the first shmup I have ever ridden, or speed run, I'm sorry, was R-Type 2 for Game Boy. So I'm kind of a fan of your R-Type series. I really got into it after watching an episode of STG, which is a weekly shmup show, or semi-weekly shmup show hosted by Aquas. It was earlier in the marathon. And I had a fascination with R-Type, and I really thought it was an awesome game. So I started checking out the console ports. And this is kind of, as far as I know, it's kind of a, sort of like a remix version of R-Type 2. It's a really cool shmup, and before I never thought I could actually ever run a shmup, but actually doing this one. So in case you don't know what R-Type is a side-scrolling horizontal shmup where you play as a ship and you have certain gimmick to it, which is this force ball right here, which acts like my Captain America shield because I can throw it and I can retrieve it back to me, and it also protects me from enemy bullets and things like that. There's also quite a bit of slowdown in this game, which I'm going to use to my advantage. I also have a charge beam, which is pretty unique to this series. And this is one of my favorite R-Type games there is. And yeah, this is a very cool game, and I like this one a lot. So I'm playing Novice first. I plan to run the other difficulties, but for now, I want to try to get used to Novice. I also forgot to charge for this boss right here. There's a way to quick kill bosses just like that. That was stage 1. So the tough thing about this game is that there is no checkpoints like, say, Gradius game. So that means if I die at the boss or die at any point of the game, it's going to make me start all the way back in the beginning. So I'm hoping I don't die at all this run, but we'll see. So the S's, of course, are speed. And a while ago, I just got a power up for this laser. And these guys are pretty tricky right here. I learned this stage teaches you not to immediately jump forward because these guys will just pop out of the water. And R-Type, especially if you know the arcade game, which is very difficult. The arcade game is known for its difficulty, immense difficulty. You know that that game is full of very quick, sometimes unfair, cheap deaths. So that's actually the only one that's kind of dangerous in this run, at least as far as that cheap deaths go. Yeah, I love the Darius series as well. I'm kind of tied between R-Type and Darius as my favorite series, and of course Gradius. Gradius is no slouch either. Gradius is also a great series. So I played quite a few R-Type games, and this one and R-Type Leo, which was recently introduced to me, are stand up as my favorite. So when you pick up enough of these power-ups, your force orb changes to have this like this extra armor looking stuff. So I'm not sure what else that does besides, you know, novelty look, but it does kind of help out. So I don't want to charge beam all the time because that kind of leaves me vulnerable. It's good to charge beam those guys though. This is the essential weapon I want to hold on for the rest of the game because this one invokes slowdown, and if things do get too hairy, I will need to slow down everything. So here's another boss right here. This boss is kind of dangerous. So I'm gonna need to start charging maybe right about now. Or maybe I have to time my charges. Right about... No? There we go. About there. Hey, Moila. Mola, in case you guys don't know, the Game Boy Centric guy, he ran the R-Type games for Game Boy, and I'm trying to bop him in those games, but he's very good, so I'm hoping to sometime run R-Type 1 for Game Boy, but we'll see. Also, this theme has, this stage has my favorite theme, the entire game. So hopefully I don't die on this stage too often to worry it out, because this is a pretty tough stage. There's a few tricky sections in it where I could get essentially killed pretty fast. Like if I'm not careful with these flying fish things right here. Just got an extra 1-up or extend. So a lot of people, when they first play this game, they kind of make the mistake of trying to not let their force ball get hit by anything or crash into anything. But you know, you do have to be careful with the ship. It's actually your ship that you have to be careful about, not the force ball right there, like that. Because if anything hits your ship from behind or the sides or top or bottom, you know, can get killed. You are pretty vulnerable. Also, this is one of the options. Very important to pick up this because this one essentially protects you from the top. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch my force ball. I have to also be careful of these stupid waterfalls. Oh, I almost got killed there. Okay. I have to be very careful here because these guys are coming towards the ground and they split off into smaller things and they will try to hit me from behind. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm safe now. I just have to be very careful of my movements because I picked up 2 speed ups, so I'm kind of erratic and fast right now. So I'm gonna take out that huge thing right there. I also have to be careful with those roly-poly things crawling on the ceiling there because they will drop on me pretty fast. So if I get past this stage, it'll be kind of a relief. Kind of a big relief. Okay, good. Okay, so this boss I used to have a pretty big hard time with. Because the thing about this boss is reminiscent of the boss in R-Type 1, which is like a weird eye-looking thing. So basically what that boss will do is, if I even so much as touch it with a cheap beam, because these things will fire automatically even while I'm charging my beam, it'll hide again, and those snakes will go around, and it's a very tight space, and I will likely get killed by the snakes, so I just try not to let the boss weakness get touched by anything, so it doesn't go in hiding, and then I finally hit it with the charge beam, and that kills it quickly. So this is a battleship stage. R-Type 1 was the first game back in 1987 to do the battleship stages, which is just a stage essentially where you're just going around a huge battleship. But rather than fighting one in this game, we're fighting several battleships, and they're not that big. But they are pretty dangerous because these beams right here can kill me. As well as all this other parts of the battleship. So I have to be very careful about this section too. I want to hold on to this power up though. I don't want to pick up any of them. what I want to do, just for safety's sake, is I'm gonna try to... Okay, I guess I can't do it. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I try to avoid those guys' bullets right there. And there's a second option, but I won't get it because I know there's a jet thruster right there, and that would have fried me. So the thing about the weapons in this game, the enemy weapons, is that your first ball will capture or absorb the bullets, but there's certain enemy weapons like those purple things that those guns or cannons were shooting that will get past my force ball and hit me. So it's very, very important to actually avoid some enemy fire. So this is the very last section right here. I take out that last thruster right there, and we're gonna go inside the ship. And we don't have to invoke slowdown anymore. So this is a pretty tricky boss right here. Oh my god. Okay. I got for the first phase of that boss. So basically it's just going to go into this pattern over and over and over again. There we go. And after that was getting out of that battleship. Okay. And this stage is kind of like sort of like an homage to the original regular R-Type. Original R-Type had some really tough stages where there was a bunch of enemies that had like one weakness on one side of them, but essentially they were just moving walls, and you couldn't really damage them because you had to just kind of move past them and try to slip past them and don't get crushed by them. So this stage is kind of an homage to that. What happens is the blocks in the stage are going to shift around. And I have to move in such a way in the path so I don't get crushed or left behind. There you go. Okay. But actually it's not too bad. It's the next stage I'm worried about. And I'm gonna spam fire here so I can take out these guys. So everything's gonna shift around like you see here. I'm gonna have to go through a bottom route. There we go. It's kind of like a Tetris, huge Tetris level. But the lag is on purpose though, guys, because I'm, well, I guess it's very unintentional when the game starts, but I'm doing it on purpose so I can try to have a little bit of a chance here. Also, these guys fire I can't avoid. I can't absorb with my force ball. Okay, so these guys, when I see these guys, I know I'm at the end of the stage. Go. Be very careful. Enemy firing at enemy bullets hitting me from behind. Yeah, you on Tetris? Okay, so take out more of these guys. I'm getting close to the end, but I have to remember which way things are going to shift. So if I remember right, I think I have to go through the top route because this room is going to shift in a way that it locks the bottom round. There it goes. There we go. And we're free from here on in. There we go. And this is a very tricky boss right here, so I hope I don't get crushed here. So this is a giant sliding boss that I'm going to pursue through this thing. There we go. Whew! I was just about to crash too. Oh my god. I was just about to crash too. Okay, so this stage I'm kind of worried about. This is the junk stage. This stage is like a big gigantic junkyard. So unlike Gradius, where you're kind of out in space and you have a bunch of room where you kind of occasionally go into these big alien sections or layers, whatever. And R-Type, you're constantly going inside like big gigantic planets or whatever, and it's always close quartered. But this section is pretty tricky because I have to get past these platforms that are moving around and stuff. So I kind of have to maneuver my way. There we go. And I have to be very careful of these guys shooting bullets at me from behind. Be very careful of that. As much as I like this song, I don't want to hear it over and over and over again. Also, this stage has like the worst boss in the entire game. I really hate. Okay, so I have to invoke lag for these purposes right here because these things are gonna fall pretty fast. Here's what happens when I don't have the lag on. They fall pretty fast, so. There we go. This is also a really tricky section right here. And I really hate this section, but I do have to do it, and this is where I'm hoping that these lasers will bank off and kill all these guys up here, because I have to move up here now. No! Oh, okay, they didn't. That's a very tricky section. I should probably move the force ball behind me, but yeah. Usually I get that section, but not always guaranteed. It's RNG. So my laser didn't hit any of those guys moving around. So yeah, sorry guys, I have to start the stage all over again. I didn't really expect this run not to have any deaths. I mean, not to not have any deaths. So if I game over, that'll probably be the run. Okay, enemy? I'll just, I'll forfeit. Is, like I said, every death I start back at the beginning of the stage, so that's gonna be kind of annoying. Yeah, there you go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have the force ball behind me. That way, I can kill everything that's giving me trouble. First, I'm gonna stop this lag for just a second. There you go, and there we go. Now we're set. Okay. Okay, I said we're set now. Hello? Okay. Okay. You gotta know when to control this thing. It's like your best friend. You just gotta get used to it, work with it, cooperate with it. It's a very tricky section right here, so I have to make sure nothing falls on me. Thankfully, I have these options here, but the options do move, so also be very careful. Take out these guys. Okay. There we go. And then we'll let it, okay. Now that I see these spider things, or crab things, I know it's the end of the stage. So I have to be very careful with the boss because the boss is very awful. It's a very awful boss. It's the worst boss in the entire game. Basically what happens with the boss is, if you're not paying attention and you think it's like every other boss, you will get shot from behind. See? Just like that. It's a very cheap death. So what I'm gonna do, it'll be very risky right here. Okay, I couldn't get him. Also has. Also, I can't. I will get killed by that fire there. Okay, good. Whew. And this is the last stage. Thankfully, I only died once in the last stage. I didn't die in the battleship stage, which surprised me. Okay, so this stage also pretty difficult because all these spiders are going to be attacking me. So I have to constantly use slowdown because these spiders are going to swarm me. They don't even shoot bullets. They don't have to because they're just all clustered together. They can hit me from all angles right here, like that. Look how fast they are when I don't have slowdown. See? There we go. And I have to be careful not to get too close to the top or bottom. Hopefully I'll get the quick kill on the boss, the final boss here. And also have to be very careful of these snakes because they will rise out of the ground or ceiling at any time. Okay, I see these yellow scorpion things, that means I know it's the end of the stage. And then the mines as well. Be very careful here. These yellow scorpions do shoot bullets, so if they do get past me, I'm gonna have to be very careful. Basically, those are proximity mines. If I get close to them, they're gonna blow up and make a huge explosion like that. So if I just shoot them, it'll make a very harmless explosion. Good. Very good. We're very close to the end now. Except for one last snake guy. Really like the effect of the laser right here, bouncing off the very small tunnel. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get the quick kill on this final boss. There we go. And quick kill. And that's time. So yep, that's Super Artet. I know everybody's complaining about the slowdown, but I really did need the slowdown for this game. So like in every R-type game, you kind of rescue your comrades from the evil alien, the Bido alien. Oh shoot! I didn't stop the timer. Come on, timer. I hate when it does that. I didn't see the time that I stopped at. Supposed to stop at. But I think that was a PB. I'm pretty sure that was a PB. So that's... yeah. Okay, thank you, Riverwind. Yeah, I think that was a PB. Okay, so thank you guys so much. And looks like I'll be back next with the TMNT. So thank you guys.